Hello folks and welcome back to Rome. It is our first full day here, our first morning in the city. And as you can see, we are starting things off in this little side street right next door to our hotel because we are waiting for a taxi that is going to take us over to Vatican City. We've got tickets booked to see the Sistine Chapel, to go to the Vatican City Museum. We're not doing any kind of guided tours or anything because Anna doesn't want to walk for ages, but I did manage to find her a walking stick in a local pound shop this morning. So she's going to be a little more comfortable than she was walking around yesterday. The taxi should be here in about a minute, which gives me just enough time to turn on Pokemon Go, and I'll meet you in another country, which is bonkers. Well, we have made it into Vatican City, only just. I've never been in a taxi driven by quite that level of maniac, the one that we just had. He drove just swerving in and out, almost crashing into people the whole way here. His collision detection came on at least 3 times. He was talking handheld on his phone the whole journey. But we've gone to where we've had to pick up our tickets from. Although weirdly, we booked the tickets online, we got a voucher for the tickets. It said get there half an hour before. It's 35 minutes before. I walked in, the man in the office seemed so confused that we were there, and tapped around on his computer for a few minutes, then said, right, I've checked you in, come back at 5 to 2, it's currently 25 past 1, I'll give you your tickets then. Our tickets are for 2 o'clock. I don't know where the tickets are for. I assume we've not just got a ticket for a tour around his office, so how we're supposed to get from there to, I guess, over here? In 5 minutes when the time comes, I don't know. I'm also learning it wasn't just our taxi driver who's a maniac, it's just driving in Rome in general. Apparently, you have to be a maniac to be able to do it. One thing is for sure, boys and girls, I am very, very quickly getting used to the amazing Italian coffee. I don't think I'm going to be able to go back to the muck we drink in England after experiencing this for a few days. Well, we have our tickets. This is the weirdest system ever. I think it's because we've bought them on the internet and then through a weird little shop down there. So we walked back to the shop, and as we got to the door, the man basically ran out the door and thrust them into our hands, saying, you have to find my colleague to follow. I don't know who his colleague is or what he looks like, but he told us to come down here, where apparently we'll find his colleague. This, by the way, is just a print out of the voucher I already had on my phone. So as far as I can tell, the going to the shop, utterly pointless. But we are now walking down here towards a very large brick wall. If we've got to get to the top of that, we ain't getting up there. Because my small colleague will not be able to get up that amount of steps. So we paid £80 for this. And at some point over here, we're going to see that man's friend. I don't know what's going on. This gets madder. We've made it to the corner of the road here, and the guy who originally checked us in the shop caught up with us. He'd been chasing after us, apparently, to tell us what to do with the tickets because the guy in the shop told us wrong. So now, apparently, we walk up here to where the entrance to Vatican City is, and then we have to go into the museum, upstairs in the museum, scan the piece of paper, which apparently gets us entrance to something. I think it's, I'd say I'd rate it at about 50% whether we're actually making it inside. He also seemed very concerned that Anna had a walking stick, so it might not be very accessible, which we were worried it wouldn't be, but when I Googled it, it suggested it would be. But looking at how high it is, we might be turning around and going back. This is absolute chaos. We're being pushed in all sorts of different directions. We paid €80 to skip the queue. They're not listening. We've been put in a queue. There it is, by the way. We'll see how much closer we get. But we've made it through the gate. Having looked at the ticket properly, I think I understand what's gone on, because we're numbers 9 and 10 on a 10-person €270 group ticket. So I think they've booked a group for 10 and then they're reselling the individual elements of the group, which is why they have to be so weird about their handing you the slip in the right place in the right way. So I kind of get what's going on now, but we are making it to the museum, which isn't really the bit we were interested in seeing. We're kind of here to see the Sistine Chapel. but I guess you have to pass through here to get in. Well, we are in. We still don't know if we're actually going to get into the Sistine Chapel because the guy who chased us down the street said we had to exchange our tickets when we got in here. We haven't exchanged our tickets, but we have made it through security, up a lift, through the ticket thing, and now we're going up an escalator, which I think means we don't have to walk up lots of stairs, which is good. But we are, at the very least, getting into the Vatican Museum, which I think we're in now. And then hopefully we can wander down. We just want to see the top of the ceiling of the chapel. That's why that was the whole point of the day. But now we're actually in and it's less crowded and we didn't have to do that massive queue. I think morale has increased a little bit, although this one is still in pain from all the walking. Cobbled streets, not so good for people with mobility issues. And there we go, we are in third country in just over a day. This counts, right? And Anna's found a chair, so we're going to take a few minutes to recover. When we booked the tickets for this, we were told not allowed to wear hats, not allowed to wear shorts, not allowed to wear low-cut tops or mini skirts. We get in here, it's just willies everywhere. I love them. Double standard, if you ask me. So it seems that in order to get to the bit that we want to see, we have to come through the museum. It was the only way. So we're in the museum. There's a lot of paintings. A lot of paintings and things in here. This is not really my scene at all. If you've watched our travel content previously, you'll know my track record for museums. I don't really have the attention span for them. This one's quite good because it's got a bit of a 3D model in the middle of it. I like that. Use of depth. It's got a dog on it. Is that a dog? There is a dog. I mean, what year is that from? How long have dogs been tame? He looks like he's... I mean, that dog wants whatever that guy's holding. And that's from, what, 600 years ago? Well, there you go. I am very conscious in here that I need to only make my snarky remarks when other people aren't around, because I do acknowledge that there are people who are religious, who are probably having quite a moving spiritual moment in here and have maybe wanted to do this all their lives. And I'm here being Snarkmeister General. I do apologise to those people, but I am doing it quietly when they're not around. Okay, to be fair, some of this is actually quite impressive. Just the scale of it and the colour. I mean, I couldn't do that. So, and there's a lot of it. Look how bright the colours are in these paintings. You don't get a lot of bright colours in museums normally. I'm on board with this. I like all the colour. As you can imagine, I didn't pay for the audio guide and I can't read Italian. So I don't know if that's like the famous one or just a duvet set made out of it, but it's there. So I thought I'd better show it. The horses all have bumholes. You don't get that in a Disney movie, do you? Actual bumholes. Just for the record as well, if you're trying to tell me the Pope doesn't play Pokemon Go, I'm calling you a liar, because his house is absolutely riddled in Pokestops. What's this one called? Interesting. That camel is the best thing in here. That is an incredible painting of a camel. Right, we've made it outside now. Operation Get to the Sistine Chapel is back on, because we have tickets for it. But, okay, we now have pictures of it, so maybe this is right. I assumed it was that dome building there, but maybe it's this way. Certainly nice to be outside. It's very stuffy in there. That says Leonardo up there. I think all the turtles are represented here, which is cool. Well, that is definitely an impressive bit of architecture. Very, very snazzy. Right, as ever, our complete lack of doing prior research might be costing us here, because it turns out that thing behind us, that's not the Sistine Chapel, that's something else entirely. The Sistine Chapel is actually in there, in the museum. So I think somehow we thought we'd walked around the entire museum, but somehow have missed it. So we are going to head back in. And there was a sign, at one point there was a sign, and I was like, but that's pointing the wrong way. We'll go the opposite direction, because I was aiming for the big dome over there. But I think we probably need to go in, go back upstairs, and then head towards it, and then we can go and see that. And then, I think we're probably done in here, because it's not really for us.
Don't go in a wheelchair.
Yeah, don't come if you've got any kind of mobility or accessibility problems. There's a lot of walking to be done in here. We've managed to, yeah, we've managed to get a few lifts and a few escalators, but that you've started to do 2 or 3 staircases, haven't you? Where there just wasn't an alternative, or at least not one that was obviously available.
I could throw myself down them, but...
Yeah, so Anna's hurting a little bit, so we're going to go back in and find the thing that we paid €80 to come and see, and then I think we probably leave. Have they got a gift shop? Because
there's a pizza here.
There is a pizza. There must be a gift shop, so we're going to go and try and find the gift shop, because I do have a little bit of a tradition at this point of when I come to these old religious places in other countries, I get Andy a model of it. I got him one of the big thing in Barcelona that I can never, the Sagrada Familia in Barcelona. I did get 2 of them. I got him one of Liverpool Cathedral, which I think counts as a foreign country. They don't consider themselves English, so they're obviously a foreign country. I must have got him something from Turin as well. So I guess we need to...
a postcard from somewhere that was a 3D postcard thing.
Yeah, I think that was Liverpool. But we'll try and find a gift shop and try and get him a little model of the Pope Mobile or something. I don't know what. There must be a gift shop. There's this thing on the way in saying, please give generously. I'd give very generously if you had a gift shop where I could buy a model of that domed church thing behind us, because Andy would be all over that. So we're going to go and try and find the gift shop.
I always thought there was like a big courtyard.
I think this is the big courtyard. I think we're in it.
What? No, where the Pope stands.
Where the Pope stands. He probably stands up there, doesn't he? There's a little Pope area.
It doesn't look like this.
We know nothing about religion, so we don't know. On the ticket on the way in, it did say that the people selling it take no responsibility for unexpected movements of the Pope, which I thought was amazing. I'm really hoping we experience an unexpected Pope movement while we're in here. But so far, all of his movements presumably have been expected. We figured out what we did wrong when we came in before. We just went straight out and we were outside. Whereas we needed to go this way. Straight on, Anna. There was an option to turn left as well, which gives us a whole area that we just would have completely missed because we weren't really paying attention. There's a big rotating egg thing over there that everyone's looking at. But I think it's this way. Again, more fancy buildings in here. I know I've cracked wise a lot in this video. It is impressive. I'll give it that, it is impressive. So it seems like walking up a load of stairs is unavoidable in this bit. And people aren't really that keen on letting Anna have the banister over. And I was so busy trying to find the camera that I missed the bottom step, fell over. So I've fallen over in here. But there you go, we have fancy architecture and ceilings and whatnot, all very snazzy. I know, Anna's just saying the irony of there being a ramp just there when we just had to walk up a massive staircase and we're told there was no alternative. Lots of people standing around. We're in a little courtyard now. I think we are very close to where we were aiming for. These guys look like they've had the big mouth Snapchat filter put on them. I think they probably invented it. And we've found hounds. Hello, Mr. Dog. Are you stroking the pretend dog? Anna really does like dogs. But look how close we're getting now. I do want to do it, yeah. So there we have more ceiling painting. And then something down here that lots of people seem very interested in as well. What is this? This is the Belvedere torso, apparently. But everyone's taking pictures of the ceiling, so there you go, there's the ceiling. The idea of a guided tour in here kind of appeals, but then you see just how long the tour guides spend explaining every single thing in the museum. You'd be in here hours. We've been here a good hour and a half already. And we're just literally beelining from thing to thing. And there is the Belvedere torso. And over there, Anna's torso, complete with the rest of her body. I'm glad we found this second bit, which wasn't immediately obvious to us, because when we came out of the first bit, I did just say to Anna, it was more like an art gallery than a museum. But this has got lots of gear in it. We've got a big bowl there, big gold man over there. I've lost Anna. I can usually hear her stick. The fact I can't means she's stationary. There she is, she's behind me. There she is, look. It's a large bowl. That's what we established by reading the sign, was it? Once again, this bit in front of us does not look like it bodes well for people with mobility issues. I suspect they can't just knock down a couple of walls and put an elevator in. It's a big box here, though. It's very smooth. Is that marble? It's very smooth. I think we're going to have to go up these stairs to get to the main event. It looks like it's a one-way system as well. Shows what I know. There is a lift. We just had to ask the man. It's behind a little velvet rope, and a man with a radio just brought us in and then called the lift by his radio. So now the lift is on its way down. I mean, it looks old. Look at the buttons. But we're now the right side of a velvet rope, finally. There was a little man in the lift, and the little man brought us up the lift, asked us where we wanted to go, opened the rope up for us, and now we are at the top, so no more stairs for Anna. I wonder if they've had them all the way through and we've just not noticed the roped off areas, because they don't seem immediately accessible. Even after all that, we still had to come down a short staircase afterwards. And now we are heading through another little hallway area that has just got very fancy stuff on all sides, ceilings. I bet the stuff in here is worth a few quid. Goodness me. Lots of babies. An awful lot of babies. We're looking at all these ceilings as we come through. They are all very fancy. I couldn't paint these on a canvas at floor level, never mind on a ceiling. Everybody is stopping in this doorway to take a picture. So while we're stopped because they're stopped, I figured I'd show you what everyone's taking a picture of. One thing I would say is we're here on a Saturday afternoon. It's quite busy. I would recommend, if you're planning on coming here, maybe don't come on a Saturday afternoon. It is the busiest time. And here we have the reason we're here. £80 entry, or €80, because we wanted to see this. And I tell you what, genuinely very impressive. It's just so many individual little paintings that are all awesome. And it's so long. I mean, it is very crowded in here. This is good. I don't know where Anna is. There you are. You're not getting any pictures?
No. I have eyes.
Don't know if you heard that. I asked Anna if she was getting any pictures. She said, no, I've got eyes. That tells you how much she's hurting now, because it was Anna last night who saw a picture of this and decided we were coming here. But now she's been in here nearly 2 hours and she's done. It's been so much walking. Can't emphasize enough how, if you have any kind of mobility problems, don't do this. There is so much walking, even trying to minimize the walking like we are. It has been almost a solid 2 hours of walking. Right, I think we are now on our way into the actual chapel. And there's a big no camera sign on the way in, so I think I'm gonna have to see you on the other side. Unless I see everyone else just filming on their phone, in which case I'll do the same. Well, I hated that. Having a man shout silence in my face repeatedly. Never felt so oppressed in my life, goodness me. It was pretty, but the whole experience was ruined by overzealous security guards just yelling constantly. The gift shop's not all that, it's just in the middle of one of the many corridors. It's just like tables of stuff. No little scale models of anything for Andy. So I think he's going to have to make do with a miniature Colosseum. We'll probably get him one of them in a couple of days. We've found a proper gift shop now, but again, it's just magnets and Christmas decorations and lots of jewellery, but no like little... We just want a model of some kind. But it doesn't look like they've got anything like that. Yeah, this is what we needed for Andy. A little small version of this. He would love to have something like that. But nothing. They're missing a trick there. Could have made another 40 quid out of me if they'd have had one of them in the gift shop. I'd like it on record as well. People call me and Anna hoarders because of all the stuff we collect. Look at how much the Pope's got. Doesn't even throw his old pans away. Everything he's ever owned is still in here, in display cases. We put stuff in the display case and we're hoarders. We've made it out of the chapel area. We're back into the main reception of Vatican City, and it looks like there's a proper gift shop in here. So maybe our hope of getting a little model for Andy is still alive. Let's see what they've got in here. It doesn't look like it. I think this is all the same stuff that they had in all of the previous gift shops. Yeah, we need to go and get into this lift. I think we're done. And we are out, back in Italy. No passport checks needed. Fascinating stuff. That was well over 2 hours in the end. For the most part, good. Apart from the bit where I was shouted at. To clarify as well, he wasn't shouting specifically at me, he was just shouting in general at the room. I was actually already respecting the rules, not filming, not talking. Everyone around me, not so much, which is why he had to keep shouting. But yeah, I mean, I recommend doing it. Just, as I've emphasised repeatedly, make sure you're good to walk for 2 hours solid, up and down stairs, up and down slopes. Otherwise, it is a challenge. I think we need to get Anna back for a rest now. We'll have some dinner while we're out, and then I think that's us for the day, because Anna is broken. We've done 8,000 steps doing that, and that's a lot of steps. And one quick taxi transfer later, and we're back over outside the Pantheon where we were last night, because we like the restaurant here, and we're going to either go back to the same one or try one of the others nearby. Did test my earlier theory as well about taxi drivers, and it has been confirmed they're just maniacs in general. It wasn't the one we had earlier who's a maniac. That guy, no seatbelt, also talked on the phone most of the way, and his collision detection only went off once, but still drove like a madman. I think it's just the thing, no thank you. But we're going to pick, so it's only 4:30, but I think we're going to pick somewhere and have an early dinner so that we can then get this one back for a lie down and a little bit of a back rub maybe. Although you can tell how deep her Lego obsession has become. As we were in the taxi, she was like, should we just go to the Lego shop today?
It's because then tomorrow we can just rest.
I'm not sitting in the hotel room all day. Tomorrow morning we're going to the Lego shop, and then tomorrow afternoon I'm at the football. So Anna gets most of a rest day tomorrow, but I am dragging her out to the Lego shop. But they've got neon lights in here. Do you want to go and look at the neon lights? She doesn't. I think she just wants to eat and go back to the hotel now. It is even busier here on a Saturday afternoon than it was on a Friday night. I hope we can get into a restaurant. So we've picked a different restaurant tonight. They've actually sat us next to each other, and our view is right out onto the square. It is mad. There's the Pantheon through there as well. So yeah. This place had tuna, which caught Anna's eye. She is a tuna fan. So I might have the steak. Anna had a steak last night and it looked really good. But I'll be worried that I'll get it from here and it won't be as good as the one from the other place. So I might have pizza. So I've not had any pizza yet. We've been in Italy over 24 hours and not had pizza yet. This is a genuinely fantastic people watching spot. Just constant people going by, going about their business. We've got the sound of the fountain. We've got a guy over there playing a guitar. And I just love the buildings. The buildings are awesome. I quite like Rome, I think. It is awesome. I was so hungry last night I didn't show you the bruschetta. The bruschetta is possibly, or bruschetta I think you're supposed to say it, that's how the man said it. It's possibly the best thing I've eaten so far. Italian tomatoes. Taste like tomatoes. It's incredible. So Anna has pasta. What sort of pasta is that? Viva Vermicelli.
I have that at home.
You do have that at home, and I am having some Rome pizza for the first time, which does look a bit special. Look at that bad boy. I ordered a margarita, which I thought was just cheese and like basil, but unless their basil looks like prosciutto here, we get some ham on it as well, which I ain't going to complain about. Anna's made a friend with the waiter in here. He's already snuck her the Wi-Fi code, and now at the end of our meal, I've ordered a coffee. She said she wanted nothing, and he's brought her a little ice cream and a cake. I realise it's just all part of getting a tip, but it's working. He's getting a tip. Well, I think we were the only people in that restaurant having dinner, because even now it's still only 5:30, which is basically still lunchtime in Italy, I think. But we are going to try and get back before it starts to get dark. The sun goes down in about 45 minutes, and when the sun went down last night, it got cold fast, and we don't have any jackets with us, so we are now wandering back towards the hotel and going to have a nice relaxing evening there, I think. Get ourselves ready for the Lego store in the morning, where we're just so desperately hoping that they have the Colosseum in stock. It's a retired, discontinued product, that if they're going to have it anywhere, it's going to be here. I don't quite know how we're going to get it home if we buy it, because it's one of the biggest sets Lego have ever made, but we did find a DHL shop just over there earlier, so we've got two options. One would be DHL it home if they have it. 2 would be buy another piece of luggage and do some checked luggage on the way back. But both of those options I fully realise are mental. But the idea of buying a Colosseum in Rome is quite tempting. If we can't get that, then I think we'll just get a Vespa each, because we've seen them everywhere as well. We also see a lot of music everywhere we go. And with that, boys and girls, it is 6:01 p.m. We are back in our hotel room. As you can hear, Anna is struggling a little bit. We have been out for 6 hours. That is a long time of standing up for somebody who can't really stand up for that amount of time. So we are calling it a day here. Anna is going to lie down, groan for a bit, and then probably play Cult of the Lamb on her Switch. I will probably edit this video and get myself ready for another big day tomorrow. We're up early to go to the Lego store, and then we're going to have an early lunch probably tomorrow rather than a big dinner. We keep seeing people walking past us with these really nice looking sandwiches. We need to find out where we get these really nice looking Italian sandwiches from. It's like the ones you see on TikTok, where it's just like mozzarella and ham and nothing else, and you know it's going to be good because of how good the mozzarella and the ham is. So we need to find a good sandwich place for lunch. And then I've got the Roma football match tomorrow, which will have already been released as a match day vlog over on the main channel by now, and Anna can have a rest day to recover from what I've done to her today, because then on Monday, which will be the video in 2 weeks' time, we're off to the Colosseum. So still lots to do in Rome. Hopefully you are enjoying the series so far. If you are, please leave a nice big thumbs up on there for us. Subscribe to the channel for, of course, the rest of this series. We've got an Edinburgh series coming up straight after this. We've got Lanzarote, Centre Parks, Disneyland, Rotterdam, so much stuff coming up. And of course, stuff like our first ever cruise and last year's Disneyland trip already on the channel. So lots and lots for you to peruse. But for now, thank you very much for watching. Toodle pip. Bye-bye.